Welcome to the listening field, a quiet place of remembrance. You don't need to do anything, just listen. Today, I am sharing a piece titled Being Held When Life Feels Fragile. A quiet field of safety in uncertain times. I wasn't sure what to talk about this time. Nothing stirred, nothing called. So I pulled a card, a gentle reaching toward the unseen, the way I sometimes do when the silence feels too quiet. The message was simple. Your home is protected by angels. A phrase that might seem quaint, even sentimental, until I looked at the image. Not a shining warrior, not wings outstretched in a blaze of glory, but an angel dressed in white, walking quietly through an old stone village, her back to me, her gaze on the homes. Not in vigilance, in ease. She was holding something in her hands, a chain or beads, or perhaps nothing at all. The kind of detail that feels almost deliberately unclear, like a dream you're not meant to solve. What struck me most was her posture, swaying slightly, unhurried, as if to say, I've been doing this a long time. There is nothing here that needs alarm. The sky above was clouded, gray in parts, veiled in others. But she didn't look up. She wasn't concerned because she already knew this place is held. Not because it's perfect, not because it's protected from change, but because something deeper is watching always. This image has stayed with me, not as a message of comfort alone, but as a reminder of what's already true, even when I forget to feel it. And maybe that's what I'm meant to talk about today. Not angels with flaming swords, but the quiet kind, the ones who walk the unseen streets of our soul and keep watching without needing us to know. The sound of safety. But what if the message wasn't just about physical shelter? What if your soul is the home the angels guard, the sacred frequency that lives inside you, not always visible, but always known in the unseen? What if there are beings quiet as breath, calm as the one in the card, who walk the perimeter of your essence, not because you are in danger, but because you are precious? I've been thinking about the word safe. It's not a word we hear much in spiritual spaces, not in the way we need to. We hear change, transformation. We hear about courage, growth, awakening. We hear that we must leave comfort behind, stretch, expand, surrender, rise. But not often do we hear You are safe here. You don't have to brace. There is nothing to prove. Safety is not stagnation. It's not the absence of movement. It is the absence of threat. And that's what allows something deeper to unfurl. The soul doesn't thrive in adrenaline. It doesn't land through pressure. It lands in coherence, in the kind of quiet that says, "Come in, you are home." Maybe that's what the angel was showing me. Not vigilance, but presence. Not defense, but devotion. When life trembles, but you don't break. Lately, I've noticed little things, small tremors in daily life that could, if I let them, spiral into anxiety. A horse with sore feet, another not eating, the feeling of not knowing what's wrong, like tending a child who can't yet speak. There are financial questions in the air, not a crisis, but that subtle, persistent hum that runs beneath modern life. Is it enough? Will it hold? My husband is building something beautiful, but it hasn't fully landed yet. I see him carry it with grace and also with concern, a quiet awareness of the years ahead, of wanting a future that feels both meaningful and secure. And of course, I've asked myself these questions too. There is something sacred I'm trying to offer the world, and I know the signal is clear. But I also live in a body, in a house, in a time. And sometimes I wonder, what will sustain the signal I've built? None of this is dramatic, but it is real. And in those moments, when the unknown brushes against the skin of daily life, I return to something my parents taught me. Nothing is the end of the world. Everything works itself out. They didn't say this with spiritual bypass or denial. They said it with trust. A lived trust that somehow became the ground I now walk on. And maybe that's what safety is, too. Not the absence of concern, but the presence of something stronger than fear. A posture, a rhythm, a quiet field around your life that says, even this is held. Staying safe in the unseen. I think of that angel again, not rushing, not braced, not alarmed, simply walking through the quiet village, holding something small and shimmering in her hands, something I still can't quite name. She wasn't guarding in the way we usually think of protection. There were no barricades, no urgency in her stance, just a steady presence that seemed to say, you don't need to control everything to be safe. You are already held within the field. Maybe the message wasn't, nothing bad will ever happen. Maybe it was, there is something larger than fear holding you, even when fear arises. I don't always feel it. I still have my tremors, my moments of tension, the hum of questions with no immediate answers. But there is also something else, a thread I keep finding again. The sense that I am not walking alone, that something kind has already walked ahead of me, that what is sacred doesn't always announce itself, but it does stay. And maybe you felt it too, not in grand revelations, but in the way a moment softens unexpectedly, or a breath deepens without being asked, or a thought clears just enough to let you keep going. Maybe this is what the angels are always doing, not removing all uncertainty, but walking with us through it, holding that unseen thread we didn't know was being carried. A blessing for the one reading this. May you feel the quiet presence that has never stopped walking with you. May you remember, even for a breath, that you are not alone in this world, not in your longing, not in your questions, not in the tremble beneath your strength. May every doorway, window, and threshold of your life be gently touched by unseen hands, not to guard you from living, but to remind you that you are safe to be fully here, safe to rest, safe to trust, safe to begin again without bracing. May your soul remember that home is not a place you earn. It is the field you already carry, and it is protected always. Thank you for listening.